Let's start with the economic rationale. And these are numbers. In 1999, more than 20 years ago, 25 years ago, the cost of conducting the general election in 1999 was 947 crores at an electorate of about 61 crores. 5 years later, in 2004, when the UPA came to power, for the very first time, officially, the figures went in excess of 1,000 crores to conduct the general election at an electorate of 67 crores. 10 years later, in 2014, when Mr. Modi came to power, the cost was 3,870 crores at 83 crore electorate. And in 2024, the last general election, it was over 5,000 crores with a 97 crore electorate. There is a sound economic rationale for why we should have just one nation, one election.
Zakka, I mean, taking the denominator as the electorate isn't particularly accurate because you do have inflation. Every year expenses go up. And, frankly, the expenses for Parliament as listed in the report that was released is less than 0.02% of the union budget. State elections come out of the state budget, and I think the ratio is likely the same. And, costs aside, economic rationale aside, honestly, first of all, I just have to say this because I think this is, yet again, we're debating one nation, one election when we know that the two-thirds constitutional majority or majority in parliament that's required to pass the constitutional amendment is not existing for the government. This is yet another diversion, given all the issues that need to be talked about in electoral reform, frankly. This is one electoral reform that is neither feasible nor desirable. What is going to happen to the parties that are going to election in, let's say, another couple of years? They're going to only stand like, let's say, my state goes in 26. Is it only going to have a term of 3 years? So if one nation, one election kickstarts in 29, how is that fair? And how is that, even when you're talking about an election where you have a national election and a state election at the same time, it is extremely unfair to the smaller regional parties in those states that really find they've lost their voice. Many of the local issues disappear in an election when both are happening simultaneously. So this is not only anti-federal, it's also anti-democratic. Many of the reasons that were given in the panel were facetious. They said welfare schemes would be stopped. Of course, it's not stopped. In fact, even critical disbursements happen during elections if the election commission allows it. And, the oldest democracy in the world, if we want to benchmark against them, they have separate elections as well. They have federal and state elections happening at different times. So where is this great sort of realization that's come into the government that this is the sort of master stroke that will change our electoral
respond
fortunes?
to that. One nation, one election is an impractical idea. It's an anti-federal idea. It's anti-regional parties. And this whole thing about costs, it's only 0.2% of the entire union budget of the government of India to conduct elections. Why are you so worried? Why are you so worried about costs? RP Singh.
Zakka, sorry, my apologies. Zakka, it means till 1967 what used to happen was wrong. 52 to 67 it happened in the country. All elections have, during that period, there was one election, whether assembly or the parliament. It's only because of the Congress party they started dissolving the state assemblies at the whims and fancies. Probably more than 90 state assemblies were dissolved by them during the Nehru and Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi regime. So thereafter, the complete cycle was broken. But the issue is other than that. The issue is they are just now Mr. Kumar Mangalam was challenging the intelligence of the voter. He says smaller parties won't get a chance. I mean, BJP used to win elections in the same polling booth where there's a separate machine for the assembly election and separate machine for the parliament election. People used to vote for Biju Janata Dal in assembly election, and whereas they used to vote for other parties in the parliament election. So was the case with Andhra Pradesh also. So how do you think, I mean, that voters can't distinguish or find a difference between the local parties and the national parties, and they can't distinguish into the two? Thirdly, what is the problem is that the progress of the work, the administration which works, that gets stalled. I mean, if there is some scheme which is on, you have to stall that. You complete work progress or every government administrative works which are on, they are halted because of the elections. And every now and then, and it's not the budget which you are just saying that that was there for the election. I mean, the money which is spent is huge. I mean, the political parties, all political parties spend huge money, and then that money goes, I mean, waste. I mean, instead of that, put that money to better use.
Okay.
It's not that the government money only. It's not the government
No,
money.
no, but the argument that the opposition is saying is, if you want to clean up politics, if you want to clean up electoral politics, why is there no bar on political parties spending for elections? There are bars on individual candidates. I don't know the exact amount. Professor Sanjay Kumar will know the exact amount for MP election and for MLA election. But there is no bar on political parties from spending. And if you need to clean up electoral politics, that should be your starting point, not one nation, one poll. But anyway, be that as it may, let me ask.
Can I make a small point?
Yeah.
There's a welcome suggestion, and let this be handled by election commission. That's very welcome. Let election commission take a call on this.
Yeah, Mohan wants to make a clarification. Then I want to go to Tariq Khan after that. Yeah, Tariq Khan and Professor Kumar. Huh?
Just one small clarification. The example of BJD does not hold true because BJD ruled that state, was a dominant party. I am referring to smaller parties. Like, for example, in my state, there is Patali Makkal Kachi, there is Vidri Sittigal, there is Nam Tamilar. All these parties rarely participate to a large extent in parliament. They do participate, but they're, sort of almost sideshows in a Lok Sabha election. But in a state election, they are major factors, because most of their focus is local in the state. And that's what I mean when I say smaller parties actually get marginalized.
Okay, so